Hello. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Aria Rayleigh. If you haven't been here before, this is the 30-day Reset My Life journaling challenge. Okay, we're on day 10. So if this is your first time here, pause. I heavily implore you to go check out days 1, the reviews, like not reviews, the you can restream them. They're still live and up there. So just go to the lives of the YouTube channel and click day 1 or whatever day you've left off on, if you haven't really actually gotten to day 10, because remember, these are one day at a time. They build on each other. Okay. Ooh, let me make sure I've closed this door. I did not. Ooh. All right, y'all are going on a journey with me today. All right, so I had to make sure no interruptions and I could definitely focus because we're diving into the rest of the journaling analysis process today. Okay, we talked about analysis version 1 yesterday, which is just asking yourself questions to sort of, I'll show you guys again. Just asking yourself questions to give you more perspective and clarity on the journaling prompt. We also talked about analysis version 2, where you ask yourself why 7 times to your answer of the journaling prompt to really start diving deep and understand the roots of where your thoughts and your mindset comes from. Okay. And today we're moving on to analysis version 3 within the journaling analysis process. Now, if you're like, whoa, what's going on? I don't remember that. Or, like I said, go back to, you didn't even watch yesterday. Go back to yesterday, because you definitely should have heard about it by now. So that means you didn't do the days before. So go back, because it needs to be done in order. Okay, don't jump around. That's not how it's done. And then be like, oh, it didn't work for me. I didn't really learn about myself. You didn't do it. You didn't actually do the challenge. The challenge is one day at a time, and you can even take multiple days in between. Like, be like, oh, I need to think about day 8 for like 3 days. I really need to settle with that for 3 days. But then after your 3 days, go to day 9. All right. So you can download this digital workbook for free. If you'd like to have a physical copy, you can even print it yourself for free, or you can purchase it on the website and you will receive it. It will be shipped to you. It's a bound book. It's not just a few loose leaves. Okay. It's a bound book, a workbook that you can use and flip through, and you can go back to at any time of your choosing, to be able to understand more about how you were thinking at the time you created this challenge for yourself. Because really, I'm just here to offer you the opportunity to do the challenge, but the challenge is all up to you, how it even unfolds, especially once we're diving into the journaling analysis. Okay, this is really a mini how to on shadow work. The journaling analysis process is like, where do I even start with shadow work? I don't even understand what. So this is how you can start to do that. Okay. Now, today's, I almost went for today's prompt. No, not yet. We have to start with our affirmations and appreciations. And I want to go ahead and wrap up this introduction because we're almost 4 or 5 minutes into the video and I want us to get going. Okay. Daily appreciation statements are crucial. If you were here yesterday, I was mentioning how for me, I realized how impactful my statements were because they were really the catalyst to all the change that I've decided to make in my life. Me rerouting my thoughts and my beliefs through these daily statements is exactly how I saw and understood that I was stuck in a cycle for 3 different years. And I decided to ask for help to actually make that change, right? So these are really important. They also let you know where around you and what mindsets around you don't benefit the mindset you're aiming for. Okay, because then it lets you know, do I really need to be going to these people for advice when they're not in the mindset I'm even aiming for? Do I really need to be involving myself with these events and these activities because that's not within the mindset I'm going for? Or I see over there that is the mindset I'm going for. So let me figure out what they're doing, how they're doing, what they're thinking, and maybe reroute my brain to sort of think in that way. And one thing that people talk about who are generally successful, it doesn't matter what type of success we're talking about, we just mean successful and content in life. They talk about the power of positivity, but then, you know, internet culture took it over and they made it toxic positivity. So we're diving away from toxic positivity and we're diving more into focusing on what actually is within our control, within our power, and how we can actually support and uplift ourselves every single day individually. You don't have to look outside or find other people. You can do this for yourself, which is a lesson that I've been learning, honestly, and I'm just here to share my journey. Oh my god, awareness, that's so weird. I like to write mine down when we get started, and today I had to run some errands. So I guess today is more of a stay with me, y'all, because today feels like more of a anecdotal way of getting you guys to understand how these different processes and habits can actually help you. So stay with me, but I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of exposition. Okay. Today, I had some errands to run. I didn't realize how late I was running, and I ended up like not shoveling, but I ate my food pretty fast. And now I'm just sitting down to do the live stream, and I was like, "Oh, it's time," because I didn't even realize how close to the time it was, but I knew that I was going to do it, and I had set it on the website in the events for 6:30 today. So I was like, let me do it at 6:30. And for tomorrow, I think I want to change the time to an earlier part of the day, and then I'll do some other stuff the rest of the day. But yeah, here we are. I'm here. Even if it was right on time or technically late, I'm still here. I'm still here. I showed up, right? Are you showing up for you? You got here. Yes, you are. Look at you. Look at you show up for you. I'm proud of you. So, today I've already out loud started saying my sort of daily appreciation, and I'm going to write it down now. Okay. I didn't even have time to prep the whole situation that I needed to do. Usually I have some extra time to prep before we get started, but day 10 of the Reset My Life 30-day challenge, my daily appreciation is I am proud of how I show up for myself. Okay, I love that. And then my daily affirmation, I also kind of said out loud earlier. I am supportive and uplifting to myself, my environment, and the people I choose to surround myself with. And for my gratitude, I am grateful for shifting mindsets and intentionally changing my perspectives. Ooh, I really love this because I also wanted to say, like I said, exposition, here we go, that I definitely wasn't like, this isn't, I wouldn't have always thought like this. Today, a day like today, let's take it a year from now, like a year back. So If I had been trying to do this challenge a year back, not only would I not have finished it, I probably would have gotten to like day 3 or 5, and then I would have beat myself up and not wanted to post anything else. Yeah, no, we don't even do that. She doesn't even think to do that. I know I'm finishing. Like, it's not a question. I know I'm finishing. So it's just continuously showing up for myself now. But the way that I would have taken today, I would have had my day and then I would have been like, now I want to beat myself up about how I chose to spend my time. And instead of getting in the right mindset to be able to do the journaling challenge, I might have even been like, oh, I'll just postpone until a little later. But the mindset I was in at that time, it just wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. This would not have happened. This did not happen. The first time I did this challenge with you all, especially live stream, was back in September of 2024. It's currently February of 2025. And the first time I did a 30-day journaling challenge, just my own, was back between May through June of 2024. So it took me a while to even, like, this is a journey. It's a journey, and time time takes time, okay? But it also only takes as long as you feel you need to actually come to terms with certain lessons and understandings about yourself and what's around you. Okay, that's one thing I definitely noticed. It only took this long. I was stuck in that whole 3 year cycle because I was letting one specific thought about a risk, a worry, an anxious risk, keep me from being able to actually help myself to not even worry about things like that, to not even feel sucked in by the negativity all the time. Okay. So all it takes is seeing exactly the life that you don't want to have, or exactly the life that you do want to have, and then deciding to do that. Okay. Or deciding to change your life. That's all it takes. All it takes is you recognizing that you need change, knowing where the change needs to come, and deciding to make that change. 3 simple steps, but they don't necessarily feel very easy. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into today's prompt. I'll read all of the daily statements at the end just so we can close off really nice. Today's journaling prompt, here we go, day 10 of the Get Ready for Change Reset My Life 30-Day Journaling Challenge. Yes. What things in your environment have your attention now, and where do you spend your time? So this journaling prompt is kind of a homage to yesterday's journaling prompt, and it's like that on purpose because we're diving deep into analysis version 3. Okay. And analysis version 3 is all about actually looking at that inner self, that inner child, and healing that part of you through recognition, affirmation, and support to actually move into the next. So take a moment to write down the journaling prompt. I will as well. And that way we know that you've got everything down in your environment. Have attention. I feel like I write fast too, so where do you spend your time? You spend. Okay, and then I'll read it one more time and just give you guys a brief understanding and recap of how yesterday's prompt connects to today, and we'll go straight into our analysis. All right. What things in your environment have your attention now, and where do you spend your time? Okay. Now, with this journaling prompt, we're going to start to see what your coping mechanisms are. We're going to start to see where you feel comfortable or complacent in life. And we're also going to see the needs that will not go unmet. Okay. Now, definitely take some time to think about your answer. Go back to your journaling yesterday if you kind of already answered it, because I'd like to recap. Analysis version 1 is optional. You don't always have to do it. It's just here if you need more clarity on the prompt. I feel like based on our answering of yesterday's prompt and creating those other questions, because this question did actually come up as a question that we created for yesterday to give more clarity. That's how that works. Analysis version 2 is the why. Okay. You start diving deeper, but we're not even all the way deep yet. Okay. Now, with analysis version 3, the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to write down how you feel when you've read the prompt. How did you feel reading this prompt? Just write that down. We're not even answering the prompt yet. How did you feel reading this prompt? And when was the first experience you had with this feeling? Okay, what age were you? What were the circumstances? So, this is where the journaling, like, this is a long, deep process. You're going through a lot of, you're going to be writing a good bit here. So, once you get to journaling analysis 3, this is where it is time to use those pencil skills, time to use your voice memos, whatever you need to do to get all of it out, you do that, okay? Now, after that, you're going to go in and you're going to say, okay, what were my feelings while answering this prompt? And I know that it's going to take you some time to answer this prompt. So, like I said, feel free to download this journal analysis workbook for free right now on the website so you can follow along. I printed mine out at home so you can see how simple and easy it is to have for yourself, okay? You don't have to go around the world searching for all the answers or searching for the perfect product to buy that's going to give you everything you need. Information is out here for free, and I believe knowledge should be given for free. It's right here. It's right here. So download it and you'll have it, okay? And you can follow along even easier. All right. I'm going to click over to the visual again so everyone else can see. If you, I don't know why you didn't download it. It's very much free for you. It's right there. It's right there. Okay. So, like I was saying, once you write down your feelings after answering the journaling prompt, you're also going to write down the first time you experienced those feelings, what age you were. And we also write down in both of these at that age, what were your emotional needs at the time, and what needs were unmet at that time as well. So this is where you start to say, oh, okay, I have there's emotional parts of me that still need catering to and nurturing. And this is how I start to identify those parts of me, okay? Now, once you've done that, there's still a little bit more, just a little bit more. We go into, this is kind of where your daily affirmations and everything come in handy, and being able to have that skill already comes in handy, okay? Because you're going to start to change what you believe. You're going to find that after doing the first part of analysis version 3, that there are some ideals and mindsets you didn't even realize you had until after writing all of this down because you had to go back and track where it even came from and why you move the way you move. Okay? And you move the way you move because of what you believe. And the conscious mind is what you know of. The conscious mind is what you think with, what you generally like you this is what you know outright, okay? But the subconscious mind is where all of those foundational bedrock beliefs were set into place. And in order to get into your subconscious, you need to go back to where she was foraged. Where did she come from? Okay? And you're going to dig deep. Sometimes some of these journaling prompts may bring up certain experiences you didn't even realize impacted you so heavily. But if it's your first experience with a specific feeling, that's all you know about it. That's the foundation of what you know of that feeling. The reactions you had, the reactions other people around you had, the decisions you made, the decisions other people around you made, and how you even moved through it if you did. So you're going to identify those current beliefs inside of your journaling prompt answer, okay? And I'm going to highlight and go through all of this again with my own exposition so you guys can actually understand through the lens of journaling, okay? You identify those current beliefs and you're going to write daily statements that kind of, not even kind of, that do interact with, that do counteract these limiting beliefs, these perceptions that you have. You're going to write daily statements that counteract these perceptions and enforce a new belief, okay? And you're just going to rinse and repeat every time that belief comes up when you're feeling this specific feeling or you want to go through a certain action that you're feeling. You just you use your new beliefs. So I this is why you go back to the other days, because I'm building a lot of the exposition I gave is just going to come back up, okay? So I remember for day, I want to say it appropriately which day it was. Yes, yesterday I talked about how one of the things I'm letting go of is sugar. I said I'm letting go of excess anxiety and worry. um So, in order for me to let go of excess anxiety and worry, I came up with this one specific affirmational phrase, and it really just started to help me anytime I felt too overwhelmed to even control the route that my thoughts were going. If they were doing that, I would quite literally say out loud until all of the thoughts passed and the feeling passed. I would take deep breaths and use certain breathing techniques, but this is the phrase that I use. Aligned actions transform anxiety into peace and contentment. Okay? Aligned actions transform anxiety into peace and contentment. And I will say, when I first came up with it, it just was action transforms anxiety into excitement. I think I saw that somewhere. I saw it, or I heard it, or I wrote it down, and it was just originally action transforms anxiety into excitement. And I had to sort of rework that to work best to counteract the anxieties I had within myself. Okay. So from there, anytime that, like, I have panic attacks, I have anxiety attacks, those are things that occur for me. I have been diagnosed with anxiety. Of course, you can't willpower your way through all of it, but I willpowered my way enough to go get actual help, to convince myself that I did need help. Okay? So sometimes it's not always about curing the feeling. We're not worried about curing the feeling. We want to make sure that whatever we're telling ourselves is a way that we can learn to move through life easier long term. Long term, not just for right now, because right now is temporary. You live a full long life. So what are you worried about long term? And how can we soothe those things so that you can actually make actions that transform all of these feelings into something else? Or they even just put them to rest by showing you that no, these things are possible. Okay? And then another thing I will mention when it comes to the identifying those current beliefs. Um, okay, like I was saying, I realized for myself, I was like, wait, I feel stuck. I feel absolutely stuck, and I don't really know what's going on right now. Um, I just feel stuck in this cycle that I can't really get out of. There's this hopelessness, there's this constant worry, there's this overwhelm, there's this pressure. I'm feeling all of these things, and they're so overwhelmingly powerful that it's suppressing me and dampening my actions in life. I chose to see that that was happening. And I was like, okay, why is that happening? I asked myself all the whys. I got to, okay, I'm a person that has always suffered with some of these issues. So they may come innately to me, but I see that they're exhibiting themselves in a detrimental way right now. So why haven't I decided to change that? That was a question I asked myself. I was like, why haven't I decided to change that? And I I went over it multiple times, over and over, and I was like, oh, I think I convinced myself that, oh, I don't need that, because I had tried the same exact medication I'm on right now. And when life was going good, I was like, just like when people take antibiotics and they're like, oh, well, I'm better, but they don't finish it. I did a little bit of that. I did that. So I examined the fact that, okay, the last time I actually felt good and on top of things in my life, and I honestly didn't really suffer from side effects from it, besides maybe some extra dehydration, which I'm a water queen. I'm always drink my water. Okay. So I was like, okay, what have I been telling myself? What thought has been in my brain to say that that was unnecessary or that it was too big of a risk? Because I kept coming back to this thought of like, no, I'm worried about the side effects. I'm worried about the side effects. I'm worried about the side effects. When in reality, I had a whole time of doing and taking these things. There was nothing that that happened for me. Nothing detrimental that happened for me. Okay? So that was a fear that not only was unwarranted, it wasn't mine. It came from somewhere else. I know where it came from. And it came from talking to an individual that I thought, because they're a medical professional, they'll understand and help me answer some extra questions I may have, because they're a close person to me. Hopefully, they can help me answer some questions I have. But they had their own fears and perceptions going on. So their advice to me was, oh, I don't know about all of that. That's, there's an increased risk of all of these other things. You sure you want to do that? I don't think you should be taking all of that. And because they're a very close person to me, very trusted, and a medical professional, I was like, maybe this is too big of a risk, without even evaluating the fact that they don't see or understand how different my life is and how hard my life is without these extra added helpers to my life. Okay. So I went back and I was like, okay, I need to re examine this belief, and I need to let myself know that it's perfectly okay to take the help that I need, especially when I already know that I react to it in a beneficial way. It's not something that's giving me horrible side effects, even bad side effects. I honestly think I'm really just dehydrated from the heat in the house because it's still kind of winter. And then I got the fan on and I'm in a really tiny room, so it's bouncing a lot. I really think that's the main source of my dehydration. And that's the only symptom I've got. I am no medical healthcare professional. I'm not telling anybody to do something that's not right for them. But I will say ask for the help you need where you need it and understand that everybody has their own perceptions in life. Everybody has their own beliefs in life. And if you know you're moving in a way that isn't how you actually want your life to go, it's time to re examine your beliefs. It's time to re examine whether the beliefs of the people around you mean that they're people you should be dealing with and talking to, that should be in your environment 24/7 versus once a month, once a quarter, once a blue moon. Okay, it's time to re-examine some of these things. Now, you can keep doing this with the full workbook. I don't know why you haven't downloaded it yet, because that doesn't make any sense. It's FREE. That spells free. Creditreport.com, baby. Okay, it's free. It's a workbook to literally help you understand how to start deep diving into shadow work, because it's not simple and easy to do the work. It's not simple. It's honestly a lot more complex than people understand, which is why most people go to therapists to have it kind of navigated and guided for them. But I'm telling you that you can, with the help of your therapist, if that's still what you want, with a life coach, if that's what you want, with a body doubling person who's also in the same sort of boat in life, and y'all are trying to grow and enhance your mindsets together alongside each other. Whatever sort of person you need beside you, as long as you know it aligns with you and the life that you're going for, take the help you need to do what you need to do. Let me tell y'all one more time, because I don't think you understand. Take the help you need to do what you need to do. That's it. That is quite literally it. Now, guess what? We are done with day 10 of the Reset My Life 30-day journaling challenge. You can go ahead and take this time to answer your journaling prompts a bit more, because I know y'all didn't get the full time to answer. You were really trying to figure out how this analysis works, and I appreciate that, because guess what? It's gonna do more for you. Okay. Now, we're already at 33 minutes. I did ramble on at the beginning, and I still want to go over all of my affirmations before we close out, and then we'll be done. Okay. So, today, for day 10 of the Reset My Life 30-day journaling challenge, my daily statements are as follows, and I'll just read them back to back. Appreciation. I am proud of how I show up for myself. Affirmation. I am supportive and uplifting to myself and my environment and the people I choose to surround myself with. Gratitude. I am grateful for shifting mindsets and intentionally changing my perspectives. So simple, so easy, so wonderful, so beautiful. Okay? I hope you all gain more knowledge about yourself than you did yesterday. I hope you start to love and support yourself and empower yourself more than you did yesterday. And I wish the most beautiful and the most life changing times upon you. Okay? You've done it.